boys and girls. Happy Friday. Today is Thursday for us, and we got outside for a while today, and it felt delightful to have some sun on us after so many rainy days. So hopefully you got outside yesterday and today, and are able to get some sunshine in your lives too. I have another animal story to end out our week. The title of this story is Bone by Bone. We're going to talk about some animal skeletons. So if you guys know the answer to this, if an animal has a backbone, what's that big vocabulary word that we learned this year? Yo, they got a backbone. What are they called? They are vertebrates, right? If they do not have a backbone, then they are invertebrates. Good. All right, bone by bone, comparing animal skeletons. Have you ever wondered what we would look like if we didn't have any bones? It would not be pretty. Luckily, we don't have that problem. We're vertebrates, animals with bones. Our bones hold us up. Thank goodness for that. Vertebrates come in all different shapes and sizes, but we have many of the same bones. All vertebrates have skulls and ribs, and we all have vertebrae. Vertebrae stack up on top of one another to make a spine or a backbone. So here is, it looks like some animal, possibly a dog or a bear.
That looks like a cow. That looks like a cow.
As well as a human skeleton. Check out how they've labeled the parts of the body. And we're going to come back to this page when it's time for your challenge. Can you imagine how you'd look if we added some bones to your spine? What if your vertebrae didn't stop at your rear end? What if it just kept going? You'd have a tail. Tails are made of vertebrae. Lots of animals have tails. They wag on happy dogs and sweep side to side to help alligators swim through the water. What would happen if we took away some of your bones? What if you didn't have any arm or leg bones? What kind of an animal would you be if you just had a skull, vertebrae, and ribs?
Aaron, guess.
Oh, I thought you were saying you'd be Aaron. Nope. What would you be if you just had a skull, vertebrae, and ribs?
I don't know. Snake.
A snake. Snakes don't have any arm or leg bones because they don't have any arms or legs. What kind of an animal would you be if we took away your leg bones but kept your arm bones? Here's a hint. We'd also be moving your breathing holes from the front of your face to the top of your skull.
Aaron, what would you?
Whale.
Yep.
A whale. Oh, the blowhole is like the nose, and they take away the legs. Then what part are the arms? Do whales have arms?
They're the flippers on the front.
Oh, right. A whale or a dolphin. These animals do not have legs. Their arm bones and finger bones are their flippers. The holes at the bottom of their skulls are their blowholes. Blowholes let them breathe air easily as they swim. A porpoise is another correct answer. Instead of tilting their heads at the surface to get air, as we do when we swim, they just raise up and let their blowhole get above the water, and then they take a breath. What would happen? Oh, let me show you the whale picture, the big whale picture. Now, what would happen if your middle fingers and middle toes were so thick that they supported your whole body? What kind of an animal would you be if those bones were strong and you didn't need any other hand or foot bones? Look at that girl. What animal might you be?
Horse?
Yes! A horse or a zebra or a donkey. These animals only have one toe on each leg. Instead of fingernails and toenails, they have something called a hoof. What kind of animal? Oh, let me show you that picture. Just their hooves. What kind of animal would you be if you only had 2 fingers on each hand and 2 toes on each foot?
Moose.
You'd be a moose? Let's see. A goat or a sheep or a moose or a deer or a pig or a cow. Since these animals walk on 2 toenails, their hooves are called split hooves. A camel, a giraffe, or an antelope are also correct answers. Now, let's keep all of our bones, but change the sizes of some of them. What kind of animal would you be if you had really big vertebrae in your neck?
Giraffe.
Yeah, there's that long-necked animal. A giraffe. Both humans and giraffes have 7 vertebrae in their necks. Oh, so we have the same number of bones. The size of the giraffe's one is much bigger than ours.
They're like
this.
They're like this big.
Both humans and giraffes have 7 vertebrae in their necks, but
No,
giraffes'
like
vertebrae are enormous. Each vertebrae can be more than 10 inches. That's about as big as your head. So each head bone is the size of your
Also
head.
known as skull.
Right. So there's the vertebrae in the giraffe. What kind of an animal would you be if your leg bones were much longer than your arm bones?
Aaron goes first.
Kangaroo.
Rabbit. Bing, bing, bing.
Ooh, both good guesses. Oh, a rabbit or a kangaroo. Nice job, Sullivan team. These animals need strong hind legs, which means their bottom legs, for jumping. A hare and a pika are also considered correct answers.
Pikachu.
You're a goof. What kind of an animal would you be if your finger bones grew so long that they reached your feet?
Aaron.
I don't know.
Bat.
A bat. Bats' wings are made up of their finger bones. A web of skin connects the bones to make wings so that the bat can fly. Wow.
And those
Now I look at it very differently because these look like very long fingers. I guess I've never thought of that before. What if we took away all of your bones? Could you be an animal if you didn't have any bones at all?
Yeah.
Really? What are those animals called?
What? Invertebrates.
Invertebrates. Good. Yes, many animals don't have bones. They're called invertebrates. Clams, beetles, and starfish have no bones. They have the hard parts of their body on the outside.
Jellyfish. Slugs. Snails.
Keep going.
Worms.
Worms and slugs don't have bones. Their bodies are small and mushy. Jellyfish don't have bones either. In fact, their bodies are so fragile they could collapse if they didn't live in water. But let's add the bones back in one more time. What kind of an animal would you be if you could turn this page?
Aaron.
What kind of an animal can turn the pages in a book?
I think a human?
Yep.
Are you an animal?
Yeah.
What kind of an animal are you?
Mammal.
Do you have hair? Are babies born from their mommies and drink milk?
Yep.
You're a mammal. Hold up your magic
And also
mirror right
if it-
here. Hold up your magic mirror. Look at it. And say, hi, mammal. You're a good-looking mammal.
And here's another thing that makes some mammals, that makes you a human.
And that's why we can turn the pages. We have something called an opposable thumb. A human, the bones in our hands look a lot like the bones many other animals have. But we can move our thumbs in a special way that allows us to do many things, including turning the pages of a book. Our special thumbs are called opposable thumbs. Opposable thumbs are one of the things that make us human. Apes and monkeys have opposable thumbs too.
Except the spider monkey, they don't even have thumbs.
Thanks for sharing. Did you get that one? If you did, give yourself a thumbs up.
Double thumbs up.
All right, more about bones. Bones are important because they hold us up, but they have other important jobs too. Did you know that bones are also factories? Inside of our bones is where we make blood cells. Bones are storage areas as well. Inside our bones, we store fat and minerals for our bodies when they need them. Bones help us to be able to move. They can do this with help from our
Muscles.
Yes, our muscles. Good. Let's see more about vertebrates. There are 5 different types of vertebrates. Birds, mammals, us, amphibians.
Fish.
Remember, they have the slimy skin.
Fish.
Reptiles. We learned a lot about reptiles. They have
Turtle.
scaly skin like the turtle.
Fish.
And fish. Good. How do we tell them apart? If it has feathers, it's a
bird.
good. Does it have hair or fur? Does the mother make milk for her babies? If so, it's a
Mammal.
yes. Does it have slimy skin that it breathes through? Does it lay jelly like eggs that will dry out if they aren't in water or under a damp log? If so, it's a
amphibian.
good. Does it have scaly skin? Are the shells of the eggs hard so that they don't dry out in the sun? If so, it's a
Reptile.
does it have fins and scales? Does it spend all of its life in the water? If so, it's a
Fish.
there you go. A fish out of water, never good. All right, so remember back a ways in our story in the very, very, very beginning, there was one really cool page that had a skeleton and then they labeled the bones, the vertebrae, scapula, pelvis, ribs. They labeled the bones. Now, we don't have to get super technical in this challenge, but I decided since I was so interested in that bat picture where it showed the fingers, I'm going to do a skeleton of a bat. Now, it's really fun if you have some black paper laying around to draw with a white crayon. It almost looks like an x-ray then, okay? So I drew the outline of my bat, but I didn't put anything in it. And my outline is just real kind of simple. If you can look up your favorite animal on mom or dad's phone and look up the bones in the animal, you can copy it right off of the computer or right off of the phone. If you don't have any of that, you can always go back and pause my video on one of the pictures that I showed you and do a sketch right from our book or our video. But I'm going to use my white colored pencil. You can use a white crayon. I don't know if there's white markers, but white crayons, white markers, oil pastels if you have it, to make the bones. So I'm going to copy straight from the book and make my skull and do the cutout for the eye. And then it comes down for a spine, shoulder bones, arm bones, and then there's these long finger bones. See how I started my skeleton? I started it. But now, I'm not going to do the whole thing for you, but now I could maybe start to label. So I know that the wings are actually what bones? What did we learn?
Finger.
Yeah. So I'm going to draw a line from the fingers and write fingers.
But we can fly.
Fingers. I might go to the top and draw a line and write wings. I know the bone in the head is called the skull. So I'm going to go through and label
And arm bones.
arm bones, neck bones, backbone, vertebrae, spine, all words that you know. Go through and try to make yourself a little
Collarbone.
animal x-ray to go along with our story from today. All right, you guys, that might take you a while, and that's okay. You have the whole weekend to work through it. All right, you guys have a good weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday. Bye.